So, episode 2.
Yep, back to the
We did
main
all
bit.
of this bit.
Yes, did the interludes.
Chapter. It's weird that they call them episodes on that screen and chapters over here.
Yeah, I don't know.
But we did all of chapter 1.5, so.
Yes.
Onwards!
So now that we know what happened in between, we should be well prepared for the next chapter.
Little happening of last night.
Hmm.
I feel like that's not a good translation, but...
都会は魔界だ
Yeah, and also you're apparently scared of the dark, as we discovered.
Kinda?
Well, at least your entire hick village is.
Well...
They're like, oh man, the dark is spooky.
けど慣れれば割と住みやすいとは思う
Yeah, that's kind of the point. Make things easier for you.
Soujuuro sighed listlessly. He looked down at the winter schoolyard below, lost in thought. In the second chair from the back, right
By
next to the window.
That's what it looks like.
Which, you know, I would have thought was Aoko's seat, but no, apparently it's
Well, he's in a
Soujuuro's.
different classroom, so
Oh,
they
that's
might both
right,
have
they
it.
might both have it. What is that thing in front? December was written on the corner of the chalkboard. He couldn't believe 10 days had already passed since he transferred to the school.
Oh, wow, yeah, they did just...
Okay, so all of the
Time
in-between
skip.
shit was within 10 days.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
The last vestiges of autumn had faded with the change of the month. The trees were all but barren, and the ground below them a mat of fallen leaves. Fourth period was classics. Ooh, classics.
Yeah, okay, like classical Japanese. I've heard of that.
Oh, I was thinking Western classics. Where like,
well...
you know, like, you can get, like, a degree in classics
Well,
where you
yeah.
study, like, you know...
I'm sure that's...
Greek and Roman...
Yeah,
you
I'm
know.
sure that's the translation they were going for, but I believe there's a modern Japanese and classic Japanese as a separate class.
An elderly teacher stood at the lectern and rambled on. While he'd finally gotten used to the classroom, he still had a long way to go to get up to speed in his classes. Lacking even the basic understanding most students learn in their early scholastic life, it was a battle for Soujuuro to keep up.
Well, yeah, apparently he isn't even used to the concept of a classroom.
Even if he was unable to grasp all the content right away, he at least tried to memorize everything in the hope that he could make use of it down the road. Which is why losing himself in his thoughts was about the last thing he should have been doing.
Yep.
He would normally chastise himself for daydreaming, but he was too busy daydreaming to do that. Troublingly, he was unable to concentrate in class today. Soujuuro couldn't place the source of his lack of concentration. It couldn't have been the winter in the city. It was much milder than in the mountains. Neither was his part-time job particularly tiring.
He hadn't been smacked with a frying pan in a whole week.
Oh, that was what's his face anyways? Crazy hair.
Oh, I thought they both got smacked.
No,
Oh.
it was just Fivehead. He was not any more physically fatigued than the average student, so that couldn't be it either. Others might conclude that it was because the courses were boring, but that seemed off the mark too.
Are you sure?
Soujuuro didn't share his classmates' opinions about their classes. On the contrary, he rather enjoyed his class time.
Oh, okay.
Nerd!
Well, he's learning all new stuff, I guess.
No, his frame of mind was not to blame either. Trying to figure out what was wrong only made him more depressed and more distracted, and therefore pay less attention to class.
Maybe he's just depressed because it's dark and gloomy?
Yeah.
いけないこんなんじゃ気が散る一方だ
He scolded himself and turned his attention to the chalkboard. The rhythmic ticks of the chalk were sending him into a slumber, but he somehow managed to resist their lullability. Yeah, that did become a lot less of an issue once, like, everybody switched to using whiteboards.
Yeah.
Because the squeak of the marker on the whiteboard is not nearly as, like...
Sleep-inducing?
Yeah. And yet, he was still unable to focus on the class. Soujuuro reflected silently, as was his custom, and sighed inwardly. Deep down, he knew the real source of his agitation. The events of the previous night were the only thing it could be.
Something that didn't happen in the interludes, I guess?
With the chime to signal the end of class, the teacher bowed and exited into the hallway. To see him off, the 30 or so students all stood up from their desks. The clock, which had seemed to slow dramatically around 11:30, now struck noon. The 30 or so students, 31 to be exact, all of them female. Wait, no, that's clearly not true.
Wrong class.
Wrong class. The tension seemed to fade from the room all at once. The release from a difficult lesson was the start of lunchtime, a highlight of school life.
When they can all actually talk and go to other classrooms and see their friends and stuff.
When they can go to the roof and be delinquents.
Well, some of them do that. Usually the protagonist.
Yeah, so him and Aoko.
Maybe.
It'll be like the Shiro Tosaka lunchtime
Yeah.
roof conversations. Misaki High's cafeteria was not particularly known for its quality of food.
Oh.
Complaints that the quality was below that of a private school went unheeded. And the same unique flavors appeared on the menu each and every day. Private school prices coupled with subpar quality led the majority of students to opt for boxed lunches instead.
Oh, yeah. I could see that.
Soujuuro's Class 2C was no exception. The boys muscled as many as 10 desks into what resembled a long dining table. Conversely, the girls divided themselves into smaller tables of 2 or 3 desks with practiced ease and started chatting with their cliques. Not a single student wasted even a second of their precious lunchtime.
Wow. That seems like an exaggeration.
Where both sides differed in method, they shared a common goal: eat. Soujuuro was struck dumb by the efficiency of the transformation. Even after 10 days, he was unable to keep pace with the rest of the class and remained seated where he had sat during the previous period.
Oi! Kochiko yo, Shizuki!
The voice came from the large makeshift dining table near the window. Osuke Kinomi was beckoning him over while leaning back in his chair in a way that looked like he could fall backward at any second.
I mean, I guess he could be sitting on his chair, maybe?
He was regularly shot down by others in the class for being lazy and crass, but his earnest nature kept him from getting on anyone's bad side. Though something could be said for not being so forthcoming all the time, too.
飯にしようぜ、飯。俺さ、昨日店の残り物もらいすぎたんだよ。春巻きだよ、春巻き。それを見た親父がさ、もらったもんは残すなってうるさくてさ。
That's all you have?
春巻きしかねえんだわ。
Wow, your dad's a dick.
Ugh, how many spring rolls is that?
You seem to have not eaten all of your spring rolls there, son. Guess what you're having for lunch tomorrow?
Yeah.
That's right, all of them. No, you
sides.
cannot have any nice little hot dogs cut up to look like octopuses. You cannot have a rolled omelet or rice.
Or a thermos of miso soup or anything.
You may have
Damn.
27 spring rolls.
Yeah. Eat them all.
Eat them all, or you're having them for dinner tomorrow night.
God.
And then for lunch the following day. You will eat all of your spring rolls. Fuck you, son. It seemed his endgame was to find someone who might take pity on him and trade him for something better.
Yes, that's a classic thing there. Try to trade part of your lunch with somebody else.
The two of them worked at the same restaurant, so he was one of the few people Soujuuro knew before starting school. He was also the reason Soujuuro was able to learn the true meaning of the phrase, can't live with them, can't live without them.
Huh.
お、いいな。しずきも来いよ。今日は待ちに待った缶詰祭りをすっ
And
からさ。
food festival.
ついに結婚するのかよ。誰か冷静になった方がいいんじゃないのか。
バカ、すげえ楽しいってきっと。そりゃパチモン臭いけど、カニ缶とか食い放題なんだぜ。サバ缶じゃなくて。
Listen, I hate to break your, really burst your bubble here, buddy, but canned crab is not crab.
Yeah, it's probably not really crab.
It's imitation crab, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't mind imitation crab.
Yeah, it actually does taste pretty good.
But it ain't crab.
Right.
マジやったー俺も参加するコンビーフは一人かそれとも流行り物勝ち
He actually said corned beef in English?
She did.
Wow. I didn't know they had that in Japan.
I didn't know they had it in can. I mean,
Well-
I know you have, like, corned beef hash,
Oh, yeah, maybe that's what they mean.
but, like...
Oh, no, it could be like a block, like Spam, like just a block of meat in a can.
Okay, that sounds awful if it's corned beef, though.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
the
know.
thing.
お前な一人で何個も食えるもんじゃねえぞ
Yeah.
うまいのは最初の一個だけだ
Uh,
Okay, listen. Fuck you, dude. Every time there's corned beef, I eat until I fucking pop. That shit be delicious.
しずきたちが来るならノルマは一人7個に下がるのか助かるな
7
Seven
cans
cans.
apiece?
Each?
Why does it matter if he's on board? Wouldn't you eat 7 cans each either way?
Well, no, because I guess if they're
Oh.
splitting it evenly,
Oh, okay, because you
it
get
means
more
they
of
only
more-
get 7 cans each because he's there. Whereas if he
Huh.
wasn't, they'd be at like,
an even 7 cans. I see.
yeah, more than 7,
Right.
probably.
ところで木の実の弁当の中身なんか缶詰よりかっこそう
Oh.
じゃね
I guess they're not good spring rolls.
The boys usually pass the time by making fun of each other's lunches, but today they were united against a common foe. Kinami.
Everyone was glad they weren't keen on me.
A pyramid of countless cans stood in the middle of the table. They'd all been taken from the pantry of a certain student's house, and the expiration dates on them had all been scribbled out with a marker.
Oh no. You want to eat canned crab past the expiration date?
の用意はいいな
Well, they might not be. Maybe that's part of the gamble here. Is A, you don't know what can, if they're unmarked. A, you don't know what can you're gonna get, so you don't know what's in it. And B, you don't know if it's in date or not because we scribbled out the dates. So maybe it's in date or maybe it's literal poison.
Oh dear.
食べるも地獄残すも地獄我ら5次元目の授業はないものと恐れぬ修羅となり鉄の悪魔どもを平らげん
You brought can openers just for this?
Okay, listen. Translators, we need to have a talk. Everyone get your can openers. Eating them sucks! You did not change subject!
Well, they have a question mark. Like, everyone got your can openers. They ended the phrase, but yes.
And then the next phrase is, eating them sucks. You've not switched subjects
Well-
from can openers. The
The,
implication
the
there-
thought is that eating the can sucks, nobody likes it, but it must be done anyway. So it does check out.
Yeah,
it's
when you
just odd.
finish the rest of that
Yes, if you read the whole
sentence.
thing, it makes sense.
The problem is,
It's
you
fine.
can't just jump from thing to thing like
下町の
that.
何でも紹介マーケット中山からの提供です
McCoy?
Downtown McCoy and Nakayama Market.
What the hell? Okay.
It's like
Some
so it's
American soldier set up shop there when he was at the base.
working with some Japanese guy. Yeah.
ヒューバカも休み休みイエーイ
The boys united as one, lewd, and hoisted their can openers into the air.
ほらしずきも食べようぜ
Shizuki is
あんきならまだある
completely
からさ
baffled.
Why are you removing food from those cans?
いや君らの弁当の毒味はごめんだって昨日言ったはずだ
I don't want to eat poison, though.
それにその缶詰半分以上
At
賞
least
味期限切れてるだろ
How would you know they scribbled out the dates? Oh yeah, I have X-ray eyes specifically for marker.
Well, or he's just got
なんだよつれねえな
excellent sense of smell because he's grew up on a mountain.
Quite an inexplicably excited group of guys. Their real motivation seemed to be to spread the pain.
Yeah, I guess so. Shared suffering and all that.
But moved by their energy and conceding defeat, Soujuuro got up from his seat and joined them. And before he could,
じゃあ私たちが釣り上げようかな
Hmm.
しずきくんあんなの放っておいて一緒にどう
oh thank god, a more attractive offer. Literally, it's a girl. Bye! Another interested party joined the fray. A girl with short but stylish hair had called out to him. She had also tried to get Soujuuro to join the track and field club several days earlier.
Ah.
いやそっちも遠慮したいなでき
No, go hang out with the cute girl, probably. He answered with a troubled look on his... Don't do this to yourself, man. Go hang out with the cute girl. Don't eat spoiled canned food. On their table was nothing but a pile of fruit Soujuuro had never seen before.
なんで？パパイヤとか嫌い？マンゴーもあるし、ヤシの実だってあるし、内緒だけど、ユーバリメロンもあるんだから。
And you're not supposed to tell
Oh my
people.
god, where'd you get a Yubari melon?
What is that?
Something that you're not supposed to have, apparently.
Or everyone would be jealous, maybe?
I don't know. I have no idea what a Yubari melon is.
Never heard
of
of that one.
this. Something like a
Interesting.
dragon fruit or something? Yubari melon. Okay. Well, apparently it's a thing from Hokkaido.
Oh, okay.
And according to this blog, the best in Japan and the world.
Huh.
Hokkaido melon, also called Yubari melon. It looks an awful lot like a cantaloupe.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that thing. It's like a cantaloupe with that little green stalk that kind of looks like a T the way it's shaped.
Is considered the best melon in Japan. Can fetch prices of up to 5 million yen!
What?
Or $45,000!
They're literally worth their weight in gold. How did you get that?
How did you acquire this?
Maybe they were cheaper when this game was first made? Or when it's set?
What the actual fuck?
Yeah, it is a cantaloupe.
Also, it's literally just a cantaloupe. It looks exactly like a cantaloupe.
Yeah, it's like super cantaloupe. What is the most expensive melon in the world?
Most expensive pair of Yubari melons sold went for 5 million yen, sold to the Tokyo company Paka Sapporo Food and Beverage Limited.
Why?
Purchased in 2019 at auction. This is also the most any melon has ever sold for. But the melons sold at auction aren't just any Yubari melons. They're the finest harvest.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's up?
Okay. Hey,
Yeah, it's got that little
The good news
T-stalk.
is, right, during COVID they were substantially cheaper.
Oh.
The melon's auction price dropped in 2020 to just 120,000 yen.
Yay!
But it's going up again, so a pair of them sold for 2.7 million yen this year.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. What a shame. I missed my chance to get an $1,100 pair of Yubari melons back in 2020. And then I could have resold them several years later for like...
They would not have kept for several years.
They don't need to know that! I'll scribble out the expiry date with a marker. First you refrigerate the melon for several hours, then you slice off the stem, then wash the knife, then slice the melon in half, scoop out the seeds.
Well, yeah, it's a cantaloupe.
Why is this so expensive? It appears to literally be a cantaloupe.
That is very weird.
Except I'm sure it's some kind of weird, special, like, Japanese variant of a cantaloupe.
Probably only grows in
certainly
Hokkaido.
smaller than a cantaloupe. I mean, that's like palm-sized as opposed to, like, a cantaloupe, which is
Yeah, cantaloupe's a
Like-
little bigger than that.
the size of a small watermelon.
It must be really good if people are willing to pay for it like that.
I want one now.
Good luck.
Yeah, right? Hey, guys, you want to sponsor... If I start a Patreon, you guys want to sponsor a $45,000 melon?
Yeah. That'd go well.